It's judgment time. Recompense for everybody crimes. Say you ain't sin the Father, know you lying. Messiah opening them seals, you can't run to hide. You running out of time, you need to change your mind. Repent or die. The clouds getting closer to the earth. The wicked about to get hurt. Second Ezra 15:4. Judgment coming saying, whoa, get on the ark and close the door. Your family, you trying to warn the Father ain't playing no more. His creation chase creation, but not the creator. They gon' say he wrong when they feel his anger. He sending prophets warning you from danger. He blowing candles out cause he the maker. He gave us life, folks say he'll take water the wicked. We gon' see it without eyes. Dwelling in this secret place and watching people die. Holding on to your word while my head to the sky. By the blood of the Lamb, we still alive. It's judgment time.
In the building. Welcome.
After a day out of sight absorbing the unfolding event, the president emerged to address the nation. Okay, with details of what had happened.
It's judgment time. They sold the 12 tribes. The same trees they hung us on is burning with fire. He's sending floods, earthquakes, we in the end time. They gave his babies to the gators, don't forget now. He delivered us from Egypt, about to do it all again. Finding out that we the people, so we putting down our sins. Father, we wanna go home. Abba, please let us in. Holding on to your word, cause you about to send your wind. Abba, keep us from the hour of temptation. Trusting in your word, we just waiting. Come get us from these nations. Abba, keep us from the trickery of Satan. Trusting in your word, not these nations. We in the tribulation.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for tonight. I am Kyle. Yes, we are in the building yet again. I got my Esther Sharonda's in the building. Yes, and I see we got Shantae in the building. We're waiting for everybody to come on in as we are on our new platform. We're back to our platform of OBS. It's giving out different algorithms, so it's not sending out the show as it used to. But we're thankful that everybody that's in tonight and the ones that will see, we just pray that it doesn't kick us out, right? That we all can get in and stay in and get this goodness we got for tonight, man. Look, so the title of the show: how can people accept the harsh realities of the world, but can't accept the yoke and the harsh truth of the Most High? It's baffling. You have to understand that in this hour, everybody believes in science. Everybody believes in their government. Everybody believes in the laws. Everybody believes in this construct that we have called America, which, by the way, is direct opposite of the laws of the Most High. That's right. The laws of this land, even though they say we're in a Judeo-Christian nation, the laws here are direct opposite of the Most High. We accept the harsh reality of being in the hood. We accept the harsh reality of minimum wage. We accept the harsh realities of innuendo racism. We accept all of these harsh realities of our everyday existence. But yet, we don't accept the Most High. In fact, we say no to that. In fact, we say that's too hard. But yet, accepting that you only have a history as a slave and that all you can do is slave labor and is minimum wage, you can accept that. You can deal with the fact that you got to work 3 jobs to put your kids through higher education. You can accept the fact that on your job you're expected to do double the work than your counterparts. You accept that. If you're doing all of that work, all that acceptance, why are you afraid of what the Most High has for you? Because I guarantee that it's not as grievous as this world. The laws that you follow every day, the harsh realities that you succumb to every day, is not nearly, well, let's say this, it's so much heavier than what the Most High asks of you. It is so much more grievous than what the Most High asks of you. But in order for the world to make you think that it's best to follow their rules, make you think that this thing is so grievous, they have to make it look bad. They have to make the appearance of being, for lack of better words, holy, for being pure, for being righteous. They say it's just too hard. That's just too hard of an uphill battle to do. So we just accept that there's scams calling our phones. We just accept that there's robots taking all of our information in the digital world. We accept all of these things, but we can't accept that the Most High say do righteous. That seems way more grievous than what the world has for you to do. The world makes you break everything into the compartments. Men got to be better than women. Women got to be better than men. Can't be the same. Got to be better or worse. Your situation is worse than mine. I'm better than you. Everything is competitive. There's no love. There isn't any coming together. There isn't celebrating someone else's attributes or success. It's on the gram. It's on TikTok. It's, can I outdo this dance? Can I be sexier than this person? Can I show that it's whatever? It's a competition. Because when you read the comments, you got somebody saying you're not as sexy as you think you are, you're not as funny as you think you are, you didn't pull that off like everybody else or the other person did. So you're being compared, whether you're in the competition, whether you put it up for competition, the world views it through a competitive lens. That's not what the Most High wants. That's not how the Most High wants us to live. As a matter of fact, I see my brother Adon's in the building. As a matter of fact, he says, no, we don't need to do all that. In my world, the Most High's world, all of you are kings and queens. All of you are priests. All of you are holy people. All of you have talents that I have bestowed upon you that I haven't bestowed upon any other peoples. If you want to go with that thought process that you're just a slave and you just came from the transatlantic slave trade, well, you should go and Google the people that was brought in the transatlantic slave trade. Where did they come from? And you'll find the place that they came from, they made that area rich too. And when you find out where they came from before they were brought here, then you want to find out before that, then you'll find that they made that area rich. You'll find that our people, even though we have been enslaved in different places, we have always been the ones that have brought riches to that nation. This nation is not excluded. Around the world, melanated people are looking to the people in the Americas. They're looking to the melanated people in the Americas to sound the trumpet, to ring the alarm. Well, that alarm, that notification is the shofar, it is the trumpets, it is the Most High. It is saying that we have gone back to our ancient ways. We have gone back to the ways we were before we became slaves, before we believed in Canaanite gods, before we used El as a god, before we used Jesus as a god, before we used Allah as a god, going back to our ancient days, before we used Buddha as a god, before we was into Zoroastrian, before we believed in African spiritualism, before there was a Thoth, before there was a Hermes. We're going back to the ancient days. That's what the world, that's what all the melanated people are waiting for, because they know a history that we don't know in America. See, in America, the melanated people have only been told one part or a third of the story. They've been told a third of the story. You've been told only about the transatlantic slave trade. That's the third that you know about. They don't tell you before this transatlantic slave trade. They don't tell you before that, because see, there were multiple slave trades. There were multiple revolts. You only hear about Haiti. You only hear about a couple of slave revolts in America. No, there were revolts all the way from Jerusalem, all the way through Africa, all the way to Mauritania, all the way to France, all the way to Spain, all the way to Portugal, and all the way here to America. We've been fighting, we've been revolting, they've been oppressing, and we've been making money for them in all of our oppressed ways, all the places that we were enslaved. See, if you want to go with the fact that you were a slave, then you should find out how many places your ancestors were enslaved. Instead of just going to DNA.com and finding out that your people come from Cameroon, your people come from Tobago, your people come from St. Thomas, St. Thomas. Why don't you find out that those were slave coasts? Did you find out that Cameroon was a penal colony, a slave colony? See, every place they say your DNA was is where you were enslaved and where you brought riches to that land. Or they don't tell you that in the DNA. No. They don't tell you that in 23andMe. They just say that you were here and here. You say, well, how do I have DNA that says that I'm in West Africa? And then they got me in Angola in the middle of Africa. Then they got me in the slave coast in Benin and in Waikuta. I see mine, and then I see some in France. And then you say, oh, that must be the white people in me. When you see France and Spain and Portugal on your DNA, you think that that's the Caucasian in you. See, if you read the history, you would know that Spain, Portugal, and France were run by melanated people from 1 century, from century 1, from century 1. Yeah, they got Visigoths, they had Vandals, they had Franks, but they had many others. They had Arabs, they had Hebrews. Yeah, we're all through there. The Moors didn't come in until 500. And the Moors was a religion and a combining of two peoples, Hebrews and the Arabs. And the Arabs took on Islam, but they all shared the Torah. See, they don't tell you that before you came here in the transatlantic slave trade, that before the 1500s, that the land that you came from Mauritania, from Portugal, from Spain, from France, was all run by Moors and Hebrews. Until the Romans and Catholicism came in. And Islam made a deal with the Catholics, and they enslaved their partners, their cousins, the Hebrews. See, Islam does not enslave Islam. That's a fact. That's part of their law. Islam cannot enslave another Islamic person. It's so much so that they had an issue, because when they were doing caliphates and they were taking these people and bringing them into slaves, they were also making them become Islam. You see the conundrum? You're enslaving Hebrews and you're making them convert to Islam. And then now you have the issue of you're not supposed to be enslaving other Islamics. Man, it was a very twisted and mixed situation happened from not just Spain and France and Portugal and Mauritania, but all the way to the United Kingdom and Scotland. Yeah, we were all through there too. King James was black. That was in the 1600s. That was part of the downfall. See, we were there prior. See, many people get history mixed. They think that we infiltrated into Catholicism. No. You have some very bad melanated people. You have some very evil melanated people that were Hebrews and Islamic. Regardless of what sect they came from, they were evil. The first colonies in America was not done by Caucasians. No, it was done by the black noble. Became Christians. Christians accept slavery. They became Islamic. They accepted slavery. Hebrews don't do slavery. We do indentured servitude, but we do not do slavery. That's chattel slavery, where you beat someone and get no money. You give them little food. You give them nothing. You treat them as if they're an animal. That's Christianity and Islam. Oh yeah, that's their history. That's all they've ever done. Crusades and caliphates, it was to enslave the indigenous and to convert them to their God. See, what I'm telling you is that is not what the Torah is. That is not what the Hebrews are. Our law is directly the opposite of this world. This world was created off of slave labor. And I'm telling you, the title of the show in this cultural appropriation is, how can people accept the harsh reality of this world of slavery? That you'll never be nothing, that you're oppressed, that you might be able to get a little money here and there, but you'll always be a nigger. You'll always be looked at as a minority, even though you outnumber them across the world. I see Alana's in the building. Welcome, Alana. The world, we will accept the harsh realities of the world. I see my brother Iwan's in the building. They'll accept the harsh realities of the world, but refuse to accept the yoke of the Most High. They refuse to accept the harsh reality that the Most High put us here. Oh, see, that was the shoe that I was bound. I was waiting to drop. The harsh reality of the Most High's truth is that He put us here. Nobody else. They didn't conquer us. We didn't. No, we were not brought down by the sword. We were brought down by the Most High. That's right. We were discussing that today. See, if you can accept this world, waking up to go to your plantation job for your slave labor, if you can accept that you are not free, you can accept that you're living, that when you get your apartment, you buy your home, that you are purchasing stolen land, that you are renting stolen land from the Aboriginal people of this land. That's a harsh reality. This rent that we pay here is paid to our oppressor to give him money to continue to keep us in this situation. That's the harsh reality. See, freedom means you go to somebody that rightfully owns the land, and you buy that land from them, and then you own that land. And you don't pay taxes. You own the land. You bought the land. You don't continue to pay taxes. See, that's the difference in freedom. And so many people are accustomed to being in slavery that you don't even know what slavery is. Slavery is taxes. Slavery is eminent domain. Slavery is the law of this land. Freedom is being able to purchase a plot of land and build on it without having to pay taxes to a nation. Freedom is being a part of a tribe of your people and your land, and you develop the land and you buy the land from other people that own it outright and you build. That's freedom to be able to do that wherever you want. That's freedom, but as long as you're paying taxes into a system. And what does that system do? It provides police. It provides a judicial system, government, a judicial justice system that does what? Brings justice upon the people. It's supposed to be justice for the people, but today we understand it to be justice on the people. They are there to put the law, to enact the law on the people. Your taxes pays for the police to treat you the way that they do when they pull you over. Your taxes pays for the speed cameras that finds you. Your tax dollars pays for them to be able to spy upon you and gather your information. Your tax dollars is the reason you can't sue to get tax dollars. That's why you couldn't sue a police department before, because they work off of tax dollars. We will accept the harsh realities of this world, but we will not accept the yoke of the Most High and His harsh truth that He put us here, and we're going to be in the midst of this until we turn to Him, until we turn back to the laws. That's what He means by turn back to Him. B is the future in the building, ties in the building. When it says come back to Him, come out of her in these scriptures, what do you think that means? It means come out of this world, the government of this world, and come back unto the laws of the Most High. They follow those laws, and He's got you on a supernatural level, not just in a physical manner. He says, if you follow my laws, I give you all the barakas, everything you're trying to achieve, if it's in righteousness. If you got a goal that's a righteous goal, the Most High says, if you do righteousness, then you get it. But if you have an unrighteous goal, then you need not ask the Most High for it. You get what I'm saying? Because He's only in the business of giving righteous rewards. No, you can pray all you want, but the Most High is not going to give you 5 girls in a hot tub. And if He does give you 5 girls in a hot tub, be assured it is not the Most High that has provided that for you. Know that would be Hashatan. Know that would be the God of iniquity that is trying to drag you into your own depth, to your own abyss. If what you want is not righteous, then you need not ask the Most High for His help, because He does not give unrighteous rewards. And if you find yourself being rewarded for some unrighteousness, you should not thank Him. You should not thank the Most High, like, oh, even though He know that I had to wham lamb. If you was unrighteous in that wham lamb, then it ain't Him that saved you. And as the time progresses, you'll see that the devil that saved you, he got something that he want back. He needs you to pay him back for that. See, the Most High's world, His order, is that if you're doing righteousness, then you earned it. So when He gives it to you, there's no strings attached to it. There's no strings attached to it. Yep, that's right, for the sevenfold. Be nervous about that sevenfold. That's right, my brother Adon. So tonight we're going to take a look at the Most High's yoke. We're going to take a look at His law. We're going to look at his yoke in Isaiah chapter 10, and we're going to look at his law in Exodus 20. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Yep, that's right, my brother. We have not been contributing and helping each other keep the law. Aaron, brother, that is on point. When we look at our communities and we ask ourselves, what should a community of the Most High look like? It should look like people that are helping other people keep the law of the Most High. Help people when they are low and they feel as though the world is overcoming and that all the righteousness that they've been doing doesn't seem to be manifesting, it doesn't seem to be getting their rewards. Then the community should come with testimonies of how they waited patiently on the Most High, how patience is a virtue, and how in that patience the Most High trying you to see if you truly trust Him and gonna give Him the glory for it. So that's what a community is supposed to be doing. A community is supposed to be encouraging each other to stay the course, to endure to the end, to remind us that the Most High has put us where we are. And let's get to this Isaiah, right? So Isaiah chapter 10. And I know it may be a little blurry, a little fuzzy. I know my face may be blurry and fuzzy, but y'all can pull up the scripts, on the side. I pray you got you a sword. That's what we call our scripts, swords, because it cuts, right? These words cut. So you see, we got a Sefer right here. This is my rib Sefer. So, that's one of them. And then my brother Adon told us about the Hallelujah text. I think that's another one. I haven't had a chance to order that one. I do want to order that. And, of course, we rock with the Dead Sea Scrolls. All right. So now in our Isaiah 10, we're speaking about the harsh reality of the Most High, that He uses others as His instruments, that this slavery that we are in is due to Him using these other people as instruments. I expressed that looking at our transatlantic slave trade was a third of the story. Well, this is the beginning. This is one of the first captivities that the northern tribes went into, was around 33 BC, the Assyrians, right? So it says Assyria is God's instrument. Now, Assyrians took us into captivity. How would they say that that's an instrument of the Most High to take His people into captivity? Well, let's go. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. See, I mean, they wrote it. To turn aside the needy from judgment. That's what a community is supposed to do. In a community of needy people, they need to know what the truth is so they can get themselves out of their situation. If you're not judging them, then they continue to do the wrong thing, and then they become an example, and people think, hey, they successful doing it. I can do it. So it says that they have turned aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. In our society, that's exactly what these scam artists do. That's exactly what the government does with eminent domain of the women that no longer husbands have died. They got these taxes, eminent domain. They take your property. They rob the widows, right? They rob the fatherless. They use the widows as prey. Mm. And will you do in the day of visitation? And that was our song we played by Hezekiah, visitation. And in the desolation which shall come from afar, to whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? So Most High is telling them as they're about to go in captivity that you've done all these wrong things. The things that you've done wrong is you haven't been a community of mine. You haven't reflected the community that I set forth. You are supposed to be helping each other keep the law, not following Canaanite gods, not following Moabite gods, not following Ammonite gods, not following Amorite gods. He says that because you turned away, giving them the knowledge of where they're supposed to be putting their trust in, their love, their knowledge in. Because of that, in the day of your visitation, and when I make everything desolate, who shall you ask for help? Where will you go, the Most High says? Where will you leave your glory? You know what I'm saying? I got these. Got these fringes tucked in, and boy, and they sticking into the head almost like a crown of thorns. Anyway, so it says, and in the desolation which has come from afar, to whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? Verse 4, without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners. So the Most High again is saying, this is why you're in the situation in. You want to accept that you're just a slave? Well, you need to know why you're just a slave, why you're just a transatlantic slave. It says, because you turned away from the Most High, and without the Most High, he says, without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So it's saying, as we're going through everything we're going through, the Most High is still wanting us to call upon him. Remember, we're only in this situation because we was calling upon El, because we was calling upon Allah, because we was calling upon Jesus. Only because we was calling upon these Asherah and Baal, because we was calling upon these false gods, Thoth, Hercules. This is why he brought us into the being slain and into being prisoners. He says, but yo, if you figure this out as it's happening, my hand is still stretched out to you. You come back to me and I got you. I can alleviate all of that. Verse 5, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger. See, the Most High is saying, I sent the Assyrians to take the northern tribes into captivity. And the staff is in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation. The Most High, let's look at what the word hypocrite is in Hebrew. I want to write that down. We're going to write that down. Hypocritical. And the word in Hebrew for hypocrite, meaning that this is something that's been happening since there was language. A person being a hypocrite, saying one thing and meaning something totally different. That's what a hypocrite is, right? So we're going to say hypocritical. H 26:11 as Hebrews 26:11, and the word is hanep. And it's pronounced
Strong's H 26:11. Hanef.
hanef,
Hanef.
like with a P. Hanef. Hanef. All right. And let's get the definition of hypocrite from a scriptural, from a biblical perspective, right? It's an adjective following hypocrite, and that's still Strong's to 2611. And Hanaf, yeah, Hanaf is profane, irreligious. So you go on the opposite of the law of the Most High, right? It says soiled, impious, hypocrite, meaning that you think that your word is right. Even much that you, in the middle of conversation, switch to something else that you're right in to try and prove that you're right on this, even though you're wrong. That's being a hypocrite. It says profane, hence often apostate. Apostate. That's a bad word, but yet we got things called apostles, Arabic, including to a right state, especially a true religion, a Muslim, absolute, right? But that's irreligious, right? That's profane, hypocritical, godless, profane, hypocrite, irreligious, irreligious. All right. So that's our definition of hanaf. It's almost like he's saying enough, right? Stop at the bull, right? Enough, enough. So enough is for the hypocrites. Enough. And it says hypocritical, uh, take spoil, give him charge, people rather gain. Hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him charge to take the spoil, to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. Verse 7, howbeit he meaneth not so, neither does his heart think so, but it is his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. That's heavy. All right. That's heavy. You know why? Everybody always talking about thinking that the most high is in their individual life, right? Is he watching over me and on my shoulder? Right here the most high says, howbeit he meaneth not so, neither does his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few, not individual people. The Most High says that when the nation have gone corrupt, when there's no good people, remember the whole piece when Abraham was trying to save Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the Most High, and he was like, man, if there's 50 people, Most High, if there's 45 good people, if there's, he got all the way down to 10, I think even down to 5, and the Most High said, if you can find me 5 good people, I'll save Sodom and Gomorrah. The Most High said, I cut off nations. And if we're part of a nation and it's taking down that nation, you may think that, hey, maybe this is not a bad thing that's happening. Maybe this is of the Most High. See, when you accept the harsh reality of the Most High, but this nation will not, but you can because his hand is still stretched out for you. But this nation will not believe that these plagues and these situations and the crumbling of its structure is due to them going against the Most High's laws. However, we do, because that's what his word says. For he said, are not my princes altogether kings? Is not Calno as Carmish? Is not Hamath as Arphad? Is not Samaria as Damascus? As my hand had found the kingdoms of the idols, he says, as my hand had found the kingdoms of the idols, and whose graven images did excel them of Jerusalem and of Samaria. So are you, oh my goodness. Most High is in this, let me translate this. Most High just said, I'm the OG of all of this, and y'all just turned it into something else. You didn't build nothing. I built all these things, and you turned them into idol worship. You turned them into graven images. He says, as my hand had found the kingdoms of the idols. The Most High does not rock with idols. So if he's saying he founded a kingdom of idols, that means that he founded the kingdom and you brought in idols. What? Is the Torah, the whole 5 books of Moses, not saying that very same thing? Shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? See, the Most High saying, yeah, all this religion, it came from me. Yeah, they trying to catch my light, but they are profaned. They have turned away from me. They once were with me. I allowed them to build great things. Look at Nebuchadnezzar. If you don't want to look at a Hebrew, Nebuchadnezzar is the Assyrian that's taking over the land. The Most High gave this Nebuchadnezzar the rod to take our people into captivity. Well, that's Babylon in captivity. Assyrian was a different king. But when it came to Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon, when he allowed Babylon to take us into captivity, which was the Judah, right? The Benjamin and Levi, Assyrians took the northern. But when he allowed them to take us in, Nebuchadnezzar thought that he was all his work. And the Most High said, no, don't get it twisted. And when he didn't listen, the Most High made him blind and made him eat off the ground like an animal and walk on all fours. So even ones that are not in the Most High's inheritance, he will bestow greatness on to do his will. But you, his children, you have to have a standard. You have to live up to a standard because you represent him. Nebuchadnezzar don't represent the Most High. The Persians didn't represent the Most High. Xerxes didn't represent the Most High. Nebuchadnezzar's son didn't represent the Most High, didn't respect him when he took our precious chalice, drinking vessels, gold drinking vessels that we use for our ritual, for our temple, and they drank with whores with them. And the writing on the wall was born. Most High does not play. He does not play. He says, I take down nations. So don't be looking for your job to be taken down by the Most High. Most High, why don't you get rid of AT&T or get rid of Verizon? They messed up. They're evil. Most High is not going after corporations. He's going after nations. And it says, wherefore will I said, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Most High hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria. So after he used him to take us into captivity, he says he's going to punish him because he wouldn't convert his heart. And the glory of his high looks, for he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. And I have removed the bounds of the people, and I have robbed their treasures, and I have put them down the inhabitants like a valiant man. My hand, in my hand, in my hand had found as the nest the riches of the people, and as one gathered the eggs that are left, I have gathered all the earth, and there has none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped rather. So your boy is talking cash money issue. My man is talking cash money. Like, yo, I done took this whole thing over. Ain't nobody could do nothing about it. Nobody said nothing. It's all me, baby. I guess he was like Drake, huh? You know, I did this all. Snoop, I want to thank myself. You know how they do it, right? Y'all don't see these same type of kings today still talking the same type of way. You don't see them to this day not giving any glory to the Most High. It says, therefore shall the Most High, the ruler of the army. That's what the Lord of hosts means, ruler of the army. Send among his fat ones lean, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire, and the light of Yasharallah shall be for a fire, and his holy one for a flame, and it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day. The Most High is, as he said, he's nation, so he's saying, I'm going to tear down everything in one day. Not no 1,000 years and come back and, rapture and all of that stuff. No, no, one day. And it says, because it says, and shall consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body. And there shall be as when a standard bearer fainted. It says it'll be like the man that was supposed to stand, the bearer of the image of, like they have at the kingdom, the palace or whatever. They have those guards that stand and you can't mess with them or whatever. They don't face don't change or whatever. That's supposed to be the guard, the standard bearer, right? This says it'll be as it fell, as it fainted actually. And the rest of the trees of the forest shall be few, that a child may write them. A remnant will return, though, as the Most High says. So we talking about us going through slavery because we turned from the Most High, because we followed all these gods. But the Most High said there is a remnant, and that remnant will return. Will that remnant be a pure blood seed? Will that remnant be only a Benjamite or only a Gad or only a Naphtali? Or maybe it'll be a northern kingdom and southern kingdoms bloodlines that mixed with all of this slavery. Maybe it's just all of us together. Who knows? Just something to think about, right? So it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Yasharallah and such as are escaped of the house of Yaakov shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Remember, he says, the ones that escaped, it didn't say the ones that bowed down. It didn't say the ones that converted. It didn't say the ones that was crafty. It said the ones that escaped. That leaves a very few when you look at history who could fit that. It may not be the average Joe. Maybe some people that's in mountains that we don't know about, that the Father hid with his wing. It says, as such as are escaped of the house of Yaakov shall no more stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Most High, the Holy One of Yasharallah in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob unto the mighty Allahite. So what is the remnant returning? Are they returning to the land? No. The remnant is turning back unto the Most High. The Most High will take us wherever we have to go. And it says, for though thy people, Yasharallah, be as the sand of the sea, yet, see, it's not saying everybody, it says a lot of them, yet a remnant of them shall return. That's saying a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. When you're out here asking yourself, why should you be putting the yoke on? Why should you be dealing with the harsh reality of the Most High? Because you want to be in that remnant that has come back unto him. You want to be a part of that remnant that reached their hand back out to the Most High as he extended his hand unto you. You want to be that. That's the reason for doing it. No, not no hocus pocus, not no looking up in the sky. No, the fact that he can give you grace and mercy and covering here. If he can destroy you here, then he can give you grace and mercy here. If he can destroy you and put you in slavery here, if he can make all these bad things happen, then he can also make all good things happen. It says, for though thy people, Yasharallah, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. For the Most High of the host shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst of all the land. He says, even in the midst of all the land. He says, because of even determined. Yes, we determined to keep the Shabbat. We're determined to keep giving His word. We're determined that when the Most High puts His light upon us to give the word to somebody, we're not afraid. When they're looking for answers, we express what the cancer is. So therefore they can cut out and get their own answer. And it says, therefore thus said the Most High of hosts, the ruler of the army, O my people that dwelleth in Zion, be not afraid of the Assyrian. He shall smite thee with a rod. The truth of the Most High doesn't lie to you. Say, oh, y'all follow these gods. This punishment is going down. But don't be afraid. It says, he shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee after the manner of Egypt, for yet a very little while. This is the northern tribes. And these northern tribes were there for a short captivity. And then they left and came to the America, where the Amorites were. The Amorites. Amori, Amor, Amori, Amora, Amora, Amorites, Amor, Amori, 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 Amori. For yet a little while, and the indignation shall cease, and mine anger in their destruction. For the Most High of the army shall stir up a scourge for him according to the slaughter of Midian, that's the Medes, at the rock of Oreb. And as the rod was upon the sea, so shall he lift it up after the manner of Egypt when he split the sea for Moshe. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke, oof, what we're talking about tonight, the yoke of the Most High. He says, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. What is anointing? That is the holy oil. What is the holy oil? It is the Most High's love for you. It is you coming back to Him, Him accepting you, and now you're speaking His words because He has anointed you to do so. He has given you the right and the power to do so because you have accepted your position as a priest in His inheritance. You have accepted your position as a daughter of Zion. You've accepted your position as a servant unto the Most High. So your yoke is destroyed because of the anointing. Now, some of us really enjoy or got accustomed to the yoke of the world, to the unrighteousness of the world, and the gifts that the unrighteous world gave. Their body have a bunch of unrighteous rewards that it is loving, that it has fell in love with, and don't know how to separate from, because the flesh desires it. From exes to ex habits to missing anything of this world. It can be many things. But if it's of this world, then it's not of the Most High, and you have been anointed. So the only things that you're going to get is going to be things of anointing, of goodness. Verse 28. He is come to Ayath. He is passed to Migron at Mishmash. He had laid up his carriages, and they are gone over the passage. They have taken up their lodging at Geba. Ramah is afraid. Geba of Saul is fled. Lift up thy voice, O daughter of Galam. Cause it to be heard unto Laish. O poor Anath. Now Laish I'm gonna say Laish is a place I think is close to Spain. Madmania is removed, and inhabitants of Gibeon gather themselves to flee. Yet, as yet shall he remain at Nob that day. He shall shake his hand against the mount of the daughters of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. We had many daughters of Zion leading the army, from Deborah to others. And you will find in history that true Hebrews weren't as masculine, masochistic as present day. So when it says they're gonna shake their hand against the mount of the daughters of Zion, they're talking about losing battles. Behold, the Most High, the Lord of hosts of the army shall lop the bow with terror, shall lop the bow, wrap the bow with terror, and the high ones of stature shall be hewn down, and the haughty shall be humbled, and he shall cut down the thickets of the forest with iron, the thickets of the evil people. In case you didn't catch that translation, that's the evil people, right? So I'm trying to look at this. Yeah, I see the screen is still blurry, but you know, I'm gonna try and work this thing out to get a more clearer picture. But we rolling tonight though. You know what I'm saying? We still rolling tonight, you know what I mean? So everything is up, the video's up, everything, the new thing is pretty much in place. So shouts out to Big Chief Al Wambo and the Cheyenne tribe, my family. You know what I'm saying? Got his picture up, and Big Queen called me today and said, "You like that masterpiece?" Well, I got we working on a serious masterpiece this year. So we in that carnival season, and if you don't know, carnival is of the Hebrews. You want me to prove it to you? I shall. Well, the true history of carnival is only found in places where they were enslaved melanated people. The carnival is only in places where the Europeans colonized indigenous places. Yeah. So the indigenous there during the time that the Europeans were having their Santeria or Santeria or their Mardi Gras, we created our own festivities and we called it carnival. And it happened at the same time as their Roman holidays and feast day, right? So we have already discovered in here that the majority of the slaves through history, because Islam didn't enslave Islam, right? And Christians didn't enslave Christians, right? Who did they enslave? So when we understand that we have always been the slaves, then we understand that when Carnival is from the slaves, it's from the people that were both indigenous to that land and were uh, ones that were brought in through the colonies by the colonists, which enslaved the Hebrews. So you had a combination in our carnivals between indigenous people of that land and whatever Hebrews that were brought through the slavery, through the colonization, right? So that's your history on carnival and Mardi Gras in a shell. So the Most High says he's going to cut down the thickets of the forest with iron, and Lebanon shall fall by a mighty one. Now, as we've gone through this Isaiah and showing the harsh reality of the Most High and slavery and why we are in the position that we're in, and yet the Most High still has his hand reached out to us, right? He still has his right. Thank you, my brother. I think they ain't got many people catching it tonight. I don't know, man. Like I say, The other night when we did, I couldn't tell how many was in, but you know, somebody called Big Queen Wanda and told her they saw Big Chief on there. So it gets out there, baby. So we give all praise to the Most High that whenever y'all see it, whenever y'all get it, all praises, man. So as we understand His hand, His rod, us being slave because we follow all these gods, and in our present captivity, that seems like it's not, not as bad as chattel slavery. That we don't realize that we're in slavery still. We're still being oppressed. So in this times, the Most High says that His hand is still stretched out to us. That if we come back to His laws, statutes, and commandments, we show Him love, we love Him, then He will love us. And the Most High said the only way you can love Him, the only way, I don't care what nobody told you about testimonies of Jesus, I don't care what they tell you about anything else. The Most High says the only way you can show Him you love Him is by following His laws. Period. There ain't no other way. He said, that is it. Follow my laws, and I will know that you love me, and then I will reach my hand and accept you. I'll accept your offering. So we're going to read Exodus 20 to see how grievous is this yoke. And we've gone through the commandments before, but it's always good to go back over the commandments, the real ones, And since we're going to go over the real ones, we're going to go Exodus from my Sefer. We're going to read it from there instead of the translation that we have from the Masoretic that's on the screen right there. So you guys can follow along on the screen while I read from the Sefer, right? So it says, chapter 20, verse 1, the law of the Most High and what He expects us to do in order for us to get our blessings, in order for us to be covered, in order for us to not be hypocrites, that we not be hanaf, right? Hanaf. So it says, and Alahayim spoke all these words, saying, I am Hawa, I am the Creator, which have brought you out of the land of Mizraim. We didn't call it Egypt, we called it Mizraim, because the founder of it was of the sons of Ham. His son's name was Mizraim. Out of the house of bondage, you shall have no other Alahayim before me. Right there in the first one, you shall have no other Alahayim before me. The first one that would rule out Jesus, because the Most High did not come back as Jesus. Nowhere in the scripture did He say He came back. Nowhere He did say He came upon this earth. He said never. Never, 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 never happened. Never ever written. And it says, and even if you want to go with the New Testament, when this Jesus is being baptized by John the Baptist, the Most High is still in the heavens and says, this is my son who I am pleased with. How does He become God? How does He become the Most High? Oh, you're going to tell me the Most High can do anything? You all so silly. You shall not make unto you any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. This is all the first commandment. They like to break that into two, you shall not make any graven images. But it's the same as you will have no other gods, and you shall make no other images, because what? The other image is a signal of a God. See, they turned it into 10 commandments to make it nice and neat, but it was 9. Because if you look at the way the earth and the way the Most High has made His order, His system, everything comes out of 9, out of 6, and out of 3. Everything grows in that manner. Just look at the spiral 9 and look at the definition of what I'm gonna pull up the spiral 9 for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me just tell you why I'm going here, right? right? Spiral. Oh, that's not what I want. Not the film. Spiral of creation. Excuse me. Right. So the spiral of creation is a method that helps people create the life they want. Oh, that's the wrong one. These people here. All right, this is what I'm talking about. Spiral creation, right? Not a throw pillow. They don't want to give me the information, right? Wheel of creation, right? So this is the so everything grows out, right? From zero, everything grows like this. That's the nine spiral because in that is a nine. So if you go here, there's your nine, the core, right? Your 12. Everything grows like that. Your she shells. That is what they call it, the ether spiral, eternal spiral. All right, let me get that. Let's try that. You'll see the. I don't want to get too much on you guys, but the physics of fringe is the one I want to give you guys. But let me. Ah, there it is. There it is. The nine spiral. So they call this whatever they're calling it the phases of spiral model, right? But this is how all creation, and I'm going to go to the definition. Spiral model is a system development life cycle method used for no, these people trying to give me this. That's what happened. I put the wrong thing. All right. The spiral creation is a method that helps people. These people here keep giving me the same thing. There. So the spiral process theory of knowledge creation is based upon a spiral movement between explicit and tacit knowledge. Nanak and Taku theorized that the creation of knowledge is a result of the continuous cycle of four integrated processes: externalization, internalization, combination, and socialization. Right. So everything grows out of a so-called nine spiral, right? And this isn't even exactly what I'm looking for, but I was thought I could get to it quickly. get out of this cycle. Let's get here. Anyway, 9 spiral. That's why it was 9 commandments, because the laws of the world and physics are 369 of how things grow, and which is your 9 spiral, right? So this is really the first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto any graven images or any like anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters underneath the earth. Our entire nation is built on ideology. Our entire their religions is set upon a graven image. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am thy creator, and a zealous, not jealous. The Hebrew word here is zealous, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. So when he said, how do you love the Most High? You love the Most High by following his law. If you don't follow his law, he considers that you hate him. Get it? So here the Most High is saying that if your fathers hate, I will see you to the 4th generation. If your kids don't turn, if they don't change, if you don't repent, if you don't come back, nobody, I'll give you this curse into 4 generations. And showing mercy unto thousands that love me and keep my commandments. It says thousands that love me and keep my commandments. It doesn't say to the seed of Jacob. It doesn't say to white people. It doesn't say to black people. It doesn't say to Asian people. It says to all people that love me and keep my commandments. Love is contingent upon following his commandments. So we're reading. Don't have any false gods. Don't make any images. That's one. Thou shalt not take my name, thy creator, in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Using his name to scream out and do this and do that. In his name we say this, in his 4th commandment. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt do labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High. And it shall, let me read back here. And shall, so remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your works. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High. In it you shall not do any work, nor your son, say no work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days the Most High made the heavens and earth, the sea, and all them that is them, all that is in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High barakah the day as the Shabbat, and hallowed it. That's 4 commandments. We're only going through 4 commandments, right? And now the 5th: honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long with you. So anyway, I'm sorry. This should be the 4th one. With the 10 commandments, they make the Sabbath is the 4th commandment. But in actuality, it should be the 3rd commandment. And the 4th one would be here: honor thy mother, thy father and mother. The days may be long upon the land which the Most High gives you. So it doesn't say obey mom and pop. It says honor them. That means you're supposed to have righteous judgment. When you read these scriptures, you know what is the right thing to do. And if your parents are trying to get you to do the opposite of the right thing, then you're supposed to honor them and say, I appreciate it. The way you say no, the way you bring the Most High in is the humble way, and the Most High will bless you all your days where you are. And it says, 5th one, or that would be the 5th or the 4th one, depending on how you are counting. The next is, you shall not kill, you shall not break wedlock, you shall not steal. Now that should be the 7th or the 8th one for you. You shall not steal. The 9th or the 8th should be, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. and then the ninth or the 10th one, depending on how you want to count it, right? You you shall not lust after your neighbor. You shall not lust after your neighbor's house. You shall not lust after your neighbor's woman, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Instagram, Facebook, all of these things are a direct opposite of that. It is made for us to want what other people have, period. And all the people saw thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the shofar and the mountain smoking. That means that it was volcanoes was going off. That's the only way a mountain smokes. Is when a volcano is going off. And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off. And they said unto Moshe, speak with us, and we will hear, but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. So when you realize that the Most High wanted all of them to come up, and in earlier chapters, they said they was going to go up with Moses. And then when they got to the foot, they said, whoa, whoa, you go, Moses. We scared of the Most High. Most High said, yeah, it's supposed to be, but I'm telling you to come. Love me. So he says, Moshe said unto the people, fear not, for the Most High is come to prove you, and that his and that his fear may be before your faces, and you sin not. And the people stood off afar. See, the Most High understood that in this one time, this one opportunity, if I could show my people, and they could see the fear, and they can look upon my greatness of this mountain, of this light, my dragons, my seraphim that was up there, then they would truly understand it and not just say it was words and then thousands of years later say, oh man, it's just words. Man wrote that. Well, they would have gone up there to the mountain and saw it themselves. Well, that's them. Today, the question is you. Are you going to go up to the mountain? Are you going to tell Moses or somebody else to go up for you? Are you going to go up the mountain and seek the Most High and keep his commandments? It's right now for you. It's right now for me. It's right now for all of us. We need to go to that mountain. We need to go up that mountain and have no fear. Don't be concerned about what you're leaving back in this world. Go to the mountain. If you can accept this world, you can accept walking up this mountain when the Most High says, I got you. You can trust his word. You can't trust man's word. And it says, and the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And the Most High said unto Moshe, thus you shall say unto the children of Yasharallah, you have seen that I have talked with you from heaven, and you shall not make me an Elohai of silver, neither shall you make unto you Eloi of gold. So the Most High, the Eloi, say, I don't want none of that. You didn't see my glory. I don't want you to make an image of my glory. Don't do it. But that's all we do here. We got crosses on every corner. An altar of earth you shall make unto me. See, when we look at history and trying to find us, when they don't want to give the name of them being Hebrews, and you find out that there's mounds built all across the Americas, this is what the Most High says: you're going to build altars. He says, if you will make an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone. For if you lift up your tool upon it, you have polluted it. Neither shall you go up by the steps unto my altar, that your nakedness be not discovered therein. So the Most High is telling you, I will come unto you, I will bless you, and if you will make an altar of stone, you shall not build of hewn stone. But in verse 24 it says, an altar of earth you shall make unto me. That's a mound of earth you shall make to me. That's a mound. And they have it in their translations, but yet they don't make churches that way, do they? They don't make temples that way, right? So it can't be a temple of the Most High, can it? So your church on Sunday can't possibly be your mosque can't possibly be the house of the Most High. If you can accept this world, you can accept the Most High. You can accept his yoke. You can accept his commandments because they're not that grievous. What was grievous about that? What is grievous about not wanting what your neighbor has? What is grievous about not wanting what your sister has, or the life that your sister has, or the life that your brother has, a life of a celebrity, a life of an influencer? But to love and be thankful for the life that the Most High gave you and make the best out of that, to see how you can strive, to see how you can get him to give you more, how he can level you up. What it says, I just need you to do these 9 to 10 simple things. I need you to not make any graven images. I need you to not pray to them. I need you to not bow down to them. And then when it comes to your fellow sister and man, I need you to love them. I need you to not envy them, to not be hypocrites with them. It says, I want you to not kill. I want you to not cheat on your wife. I want you to not steal from another man. I want you to not bear a false witness on another woman, another man. Don't gossip on me. Is it that hard? Is the Most High asking for too much for you to ask you not to gossip? Is the Most High asking too much for you to not scheme on your brother to take his wife? Is it the Most High asking too much for a woman to not take another woman's husband? Is it? Is that grievous? Is it that grievous to take the 7th day off? No, I'm gonna tell you it's not. I'm gonna tell you right now, take it off. I love it, baby. I don't get enough of it. So he says, don't kill, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't bear false witness, don't covet your neighbor's house. Don't covet what your neighbor has or what your friend has, your sister has. Don't call upon any other gods. I mean, really, what is grievous about this yoke? The only grievous thing is his harsh reality. That slavery is his harsh reality, but his yoke, what he's asking of you to be saved from all that, is not grievous. That's our show for the night. All praises to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for all that he does and is doing in this hour. You just have to know that the Most High is doing his thing. You know what I mean? When you understand that the Most High is doing his thing, then we can say, okay, you know, somebody's in control, right? We can say somebody's in control. Oops. Let me close that. Press the wrong button there. When we understand that the Most High is in control, then we can be at ease. Then we can just follow these commandments because we know somebody has got our back. Somebody is actually navigating this, because man is horrible. Man is doing nothing right. Man is destroying the earth, is destroying the love between each other. They're putting us in compartments and departments. You're black, you're white, you're Jewish, you're Hebrew, you're Baptist, you're Zoroastrian, you're Muslim, you're all these things, but following the Most High, but a child of the Most High, with laws that come with it. Laws that are in all of you guys' religious books. It's in the Quran. It's in the Talmud. It's in the Torah. It's in the Bible, the Old Testament. It's there. This carnival season, be safe out there, guys. Don't forget about the Most High. Know that when you hear those trumpets in the streets of New Orleans, that they originally were shofars and trumpets that were being blown for the Most High. And when you see the big chief leading a procession That was the chiefs of our tribes, and us, we were following as the second line. And our chiefs were being led by the shofar, by the horn. Yeah, that's a real thing. See, in Africa, they did circles. So a procession really is in Africa. So when you speak about carnival in New Orleans and you want to speak about a procession, you're talking about a particular people, and you want to talk about Congo Square, and you want to speak about a circle, that's absolutely an African circle. But when you're talking about processions, you're talking about the trumpets, you're talking about the shofar, you're talking about these people here. Yeah. But we all came together. We stopped looking at the things that separate us and understand that we did a lot of things together. Like we took over Spain, we took over France together. The Hebrews and the Moors, the Islams, the Arabs, we took it over. Y'all sold us out, but it's okay. We cool. The Most High is dealing with y'all, dealing with us. We all being dealt with in this hour. The oppressed and the oppressor. And we come to that grips. Maybe we can get a grip on the steering wheel and lead our community in the right way. Come together and live and create a community that the Most High would be proud of, be happy about. But that said, me shalom, we are out of here, man. We'll see you guys on Friday. That's right. Shabbat shalom. Another week will be in the tank. All praises. Me shalom.